Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. First of all, let's talk about the game last night. Arsenal winning the game by 1-0. Another clean sheet. That's 2 in a row. When I didn't think I'd be saying that this season. But it was a really enjoyable game and really hard fought game, and a game of two halves for sure. The first half, Leeds were brilliant under Bielsa, who's sort of that godfather of that pressing, all-action style. Leeds showed a lot of quality, and had it not been for Martinez, and plus as well, they hit the bar as well, they could have gotten in at half-time a couple of goals up. Mikel Arteta got into the players at half-time. If you listen to Emil Martinez after the game, he said that, basically the manager, was very angry with them at halftime. Lacazette said how, Arteta was shouting at them. So really got into them at halftime. And then in the second half, a completely different team came out. And all the things that Leeds were doing to us in the first half, we did to Leeds. We pressed them. We worked really hard. And we got that goal for Reece Nelson. It was good to see him on the score sheet. And 1-0 through to the next round now to face Bournemouth. So that was really, really positive. There were still frailties there, and it did show that we need to make some signings, especially in the defensive areas. Socrates was having a bit of a rough time, especially in the first half when he's sort of playing that right wing-back position, gave the ball away a lot. In the second half, he grew into it. But again, it showed that, Ainsley Maitland-Niles obviously rested. Bellerin still carry an injury problem. Do we need to go and get a right-back? Centre-back position, we know is still a problem. Rob Holding was very, very rusty yesterday, had a bit of a torrid time as well. So Mikel Arteta, when asked about it after the game, did say that he's still looking to make 1 or 2 signings this January transfer window. And there was also some very good news yesterday in the programme notes. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, of course, now the Arsenal captain, came out very strongly and committed himself to the club. And this was brilliant what he did, shutting down a lot of the rumours that have been circulating around him. He already said something about it last week, but in the programme, come out very strongly. These are his words. He said, people like making up stories and they should focus on what's happening on the pitch. They talk too much and it does my head in. Glad to see him getting the English lingo in there as well. And he says, I'm the Arsenal captain. I love this club. I'm committed to it and desperate to bring it back to the top where it belongs. So that is certainly great news. And Arteta was asked about it and he said, yeah, that's fantastic that he's come out and said that. We want him here at the club, and hopefully that will put to bed all the rumours of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang leaving. He's been brilliant for us. I think 13 goals already this season in a poor season for Arsenal. Golden Boot winner last year. He's a brilliant striker. He's one of the players that we've got that every other team fears. So it's good to see that he is committed to the club, and it'd be good to see Arsenal time down to a new long-term contract because he's an absolute quality player. However, despite that, we are still linked with a striker today, linked with Edinson Cavani. Now, this one sort of come out of the blue. Edinson Cavani, of course, of PSG, an excellent striker. Knocking on a bit now, 32. His contract with the Liga and club expires in the summer, and hence there's a lot of interest in him this January. Atletico Madrid said to be the club that are really leading the way to sign him. They've already been in talks with him and they want to bring him to the club. Of course, PSG will be willing to sell him. He's only made 4 starts in Liga this season. And, of course, as I said, his contract runs out at the end of the season. So they'd rather get a little bit of money for him rather than see him walk away from free. He's still a quality player. He's still a quality player. And the rumours are saying today that Arsenal have been one of those clubs that have made an inquiry about Edinson Cavani and interested in bringing him in. Again, it's a bit of a weird one for me. Yes, it wouldn't cost a lot of money fee-wise. Still, I would have thought his wages would be quite high. And then again, do we need a striker? Although he would make an excellent plan B to come off the bench because he is truly an excellent striker. However, it's Edinson Cavani who's moaning about getting a lack of game time. going to come to Arsenal, where we get a lack of game time behind, of course, Aubameyang, Lacazette, etc. So I see this as highly unlikely, but he is linked with a move to Arsenal today. The Jerome Boateng links continue to go on. Boateng, of course, has been linked very heavily with a move. Mikel Arteta was actually asked about Boateng yesterday, and he refused to confirm or deny any of the stories linking Arsenal to Jerome Boateng, saying that he doesn't discuss transfers. That's one that he's got off of Arsene Wenger, who Wenger's used a lot in the past. But he says he doesn't discuss transfers. Excuse me. We could see, of course, the frailties in defence yesterday. And you wonder to yourself, if there was an injury, obviously Callum Chambers already out. If there was another injury to, say, a David Luiz, we'd be very, very short in that area. We definitely need to bring in a centre-back. Could Boateng be that sort of short-term answer? We did a poll yesterday. I did manage to get it in, although again, I got it in late. Apologies. Everybody was ripping me yesterday about the poll, but we did get it in about an hour after the video came up. I'm sorry, I had to rush out. At the moment, I've been able to do the videos from home. Like even last night I was at the game. I've woke up late today, having to do the videos at home. So I had to rush out, and I forgot to do the poll. I had to get it done on the road. But the poll was, do you want Boateng or not? And 62% of you said no, you don't want Boateng. 38% said yes. 62% no, they don't want Jerome Boateng. So really interesting. Doesn't look like fans are really excited by Jerome Boateng coming in. I kind of agree with those people who say no. Do we need another aging centre-back? I don't think so. But then if it was maybe a loan till the end of the season, maybe that could work. I don't know. Adrian Rabiot again linked with Arsenal today. Rabiot has been linked since the window opened, even though yesterday he seemed, he was talking to the Italian media and talking about how he's really happy at Juventus, and he's going to be patient and he's biding his time to get into the team. He's hardly made any starts, just a few starts for Juventus so far this season. However, the reports coming out of Italy are that Arsenal are still interested in bringing him into the club. Again, I see it as highly unlikely. There's also links linking him to Manchester United as part of a deal to maybe bring Pogba the other way back to Juventus. Whether Rabiot will be there at the end of the window or not will be very interesting to see. However, it does look like Rabiot would like to stay at Juventus. Remember, he only moved there in the summer. It's a pretty, what can I say, very controversial move from PSG. He's kind of a very controversial figure, you know what I mean? So Rabiot, we still continue to be linked with him today. Now, there were two players missing from the lineup yesterday that it was very interesting to see, and I sort of hinted about this on the programme yesterday. Now, the first one was Eddie Nketiah. Of course, Eddie Nketiah was playing for Leeds, out on loan with Leeds. Arsenal ended his loan move, and I was thinking to myself, will Arsenal make a little cheeky move and put him in from the start in the starting lineup against his old club Leeds? They didn't do that, and he wasn't even on the bench either. And that kind of suggests to me that he's definitely going to be going out on loan this January transfer window. Bristol City said to be the hot favourites to sign him, although Sheffield Wednesday are interested in him, and also Nottingham Forest are interested in him as well. I thought to myself, if he came onto the pitch and maybe scored or whatever, maybe Arteta might look on it and say, oh, you know what, maybe we should keep Eddie and that. But he didn't. He didn't go with Eddie, opted to go with Lacazette, and not even him on the bench. John Jules was ahead of him on the bench. So that kind of hints to me that he's definitely going to be moving on this January transfer window. And the other player that was missing was Mustafi. Mustafi not even in the squad. Now, again, in a game like this, you would have thought, he would have played. I mean, we were playing Socrates as a right back. Now, remember, Mustafi has played as a right back for Germany. Could also have played, obviously, as a centre back, but he's played as a right back many, many times in his career. And the fact that we didn't include him, not even in the squad, and as far as I know, he wasn't injured, that suggests to me again that Mustafi is going to be moving out. Apparently, Mustafi's people did have talks with Arsenal to find out exactly what is happening with him. Do you want to keep him? Is he going to be staying there till the end of the season? What's happening? Does look now, after last night, that Mustafi is going to be moving on. I think that's best for both parties. It just hasn't worked out for Mustafi at Arsenal, and I think it would be best to move him on. And again, if Mustafi goes, again, that shows that we need a centre-back, and just going back to the Jerome Boateng thing, remember, he can also play as a right-back, as well. So maybe, again, that might be something that might be interesting Arsenal, because, again, it showed how short we was in that area, No Bellerin last night. Of course, Callum Chambers, who's can sometimes covering that position, he was out. And we got to say, Socrates is not a right-back from what we saw yesterday, even though in the second half he really picked it up, did well when defending at a right-back, but going forward, you could see he looked very uncomfortable in that position. So we're going to have to get somebody in who could possibly cover those two positions, maybe Boateng. Listen, thanks for watching the show today. We will be back tomorrow here on Transfer Daily. Keep those comments coming in and keep subscribing to AFTV.